Hello, Louisville. Guess who's coming to dinner? When I hear the music, it makes me want to rock a little taste. Happy Monday. Welcome to Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. I am your host, Janice Carter Miller. And today is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it because we are still here. We still having mass shootings. Wonder why? Guns, maybe. Hate, for sure. Hate, for sure. Wow. We're in a bad state of affairs in this country. And we had breaking news today that Chief Shields is resigning. Good. I didn't see how she could come here and heal our wounds when she left a place that was bleeding. Come on, makes sense. Yeah, she needs to go. She was not effective. I guess she claims that she's done a lot of things to make some changes, and I don't think you could tell it by the Black community here in Louisville. But it's all about perception. You perceive somebody as having done something, and I perceive somebody ain't done a dang thing. You know what I mean? But today, I have a gentleman that's on the show with us who's all about doing some things. Community events. He's one of the sponsors. Every year, he helps do some sponsorship with the Dirt Bowl. Part of my legacy, you know what I'm saying. And coming up soon, he has an event, but I'm going to present to some and introduce to others my guest for the evening, Mr. Brandon Hill. How you doing, sweetheart?
Hey, good evening, Miss Janice. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. Tell me, how do you come up with all these different events that you think would be something that, they sound like events that could bring our community together?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that kind of where you start? Is that your motivation?
Well, the motivation is kind of finding whatever the need is, what we feel like the need is at that time. So, like, right now we have an event coming to Shawnee High School, but that was inspired talking to Shawnee's head coach, Mr. Norman Ellis. And he was kind of telling us about his budget, which was a few $100s, and that's not sustainable over the course of a season.
What? His budget for what?
The basketball season.
His budget was what? A few $100s.
Yes. Because it's not like a lot of people was giving back. And I had this similar issue. I had this similar challenge when I was coaching at Central as well, Central High School. Right. So because I understood that, I was like, hey, I talked to some of my coworkers and we were just talking about different ways to kind of help that situation.
Oh, wow. Look, you've left me speechless on that one. So the athletics department, they don't get funding through the school or JCPS like maybe like they used to?
No, not like they used to. They get their minimal funding, but then, when it comes to, getting new uniforms, being able to feed the kids, because, a lot of our youth, they might not eat when they go home. So you want to make sure after the games that they're fed. Things of that nature. It costs money, and it racks up over the course of a season.
And so they still don't have funds. Well, I actually heard that what was happening to Shawnee was that they felt like they were being left out of a lot of everything when it came to funding until we got that little cheerleader over there, Principal Rice.
Yes, ma'am.
And some things started to happen, and she's been very instrumental in turning things around. I applaud her, but see, that's what we need. We need somebody that cares about not just the students, but the community, that neighborhood. I mean, I was appalled to find out that the kids couldn't go to school in their own neighborhood. I walk to Shawnee every day. But see, and that's another reason to me why there's so much anger between groups of people, because they live in the same community, but they go to different schools and they don't know each other.
Yeah.
You know, we used to ride the bus together. We walked to school together. We walked home. You had your group of friends you walked home with. I had some friends who used to walk me home and then they go home, you know, but our kids don't have that luxury because they're on a bus for an hour in the morning and an hour in the evenings. You know, so tell me about the events that are coming up and the date and what it's all about and who should be coming.
Absolutely. So we have the R.U.N High School Showcase presented by the U.S. Coast Guard. And that's December the 3rd, starting at 6 p.m. is going to be at Shawnee High School.
Okay.
Part of that, we're going to have 2 basketball games for that event. We're going to have Shawnee High School versus Southern High School in the first game.
Okay.
At halftime, they will be honoring the 1972-73 state champions, the one and only Shawnee State Championship team. It's their 50-year anniversary, so we're going to be honoring that legacy. And then after that game, they're gonna be retiring a couple of jerseys, which is pretty much past due. Mr. Wayne Golden and Mr. Ronnie Daniels, who were legends in their time. They led their team to state championships, and they were very successful in their college careers afterwards. We felt like that was very important, and we pushed for that to bring back that heritage and honor that past legacy, and so that those students at Shawnee and Southern can see that, hey, you know, greatness does come from Shawnee. You know, absolutely, just like yourself, Ms. Janice, just like yourself. So, you know, we want them to see that, and it's already been I've already been told by the athletic director that some of the people on that team have came back to the school and even talked to one of the guys that was on that team was a officer in the Navy. So he's already coming by, getting together with the ROTC and giving back, you know. So that was part of that was to bring back those generations to you know, grasp onto this new generation to give them some pointers, you know, let them know that, hey man, you can be great coming from here.
They need role models. They need to know that people that are doing things came from the same school that they go to.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
you
ma'am.
Know, like we've got Senator Gerald Neal. You know, we've got attorney at law, son in jail, called Jan Waddell.
Oh wow.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that. You schooled with me.
Yeah, Jan and I were in the orchestra together. Okay. Jan played cello and I played viola. Okay. So who else would? Let me think of who else. Okay, you've got Ishman Burks. Ishman Burks played football. Wow. Ishman Burks was lieutenant governor under Mayor Fisher's first term.
Wow.
But he came from the Kentucky State, what you call it, Highway Patrol, Highway KPS. He came from that. He headed that up before he got into politics.
Wow.
He's kind of quiet now. I don't know if he liked the political aspect of it all. We have a lot of people that have done a lot of things for Shawnee, from Shawnee, because we lived in that neighborhood. You know, we got Skip Reed. Okay, let me tell you something. 72, 73 think they're the only championship team.
Yes, ma'am.
But 1960, I think 67, 68, Shawnee won the LIT.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yes, I know this because I was a cheerleader.
Okay.
And we beat Central.
Oh.
Okay, check this out. We beat Central. I'm a cheerleader, Shawnee, but I was going with Otto Petty. He was my boyfriend.
Okay, starting point guard. Yes, ma'am.
Bad. He and Ron King.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Shawnee had a winning championship team, a little preceded 72, 73.
Yes, ma'am.
But now that I know that they should be celebrating that, I'll get in touch with Mr. Skip Reed, who's the um, baseball coach for the OGs
Okay.
that win a lot of tournaments for the, I guess they're 50 and over
I'm
baseball
I'm
team. You
I'm
hip to
well
that,
aware.
OG?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm Mr. King. He's a friend of mine, and
Okay.
like a mentor. So I see a lot. They win a lot.
Yeah, yeah. They're doing wonderful things. And that's a cohesive group. They've been
Yes, ma'am.
together. They've been doing this. Okay, I've been back home 18 years now. And since I've been home, I know they've been playing
Yes, ma'am.
hard baseball. Is it base? Are they playing baseball or
Softball.
are they playing softball?
Softball.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. They are playing softball.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So um that the people that came from that school, I subbed there one day, Brandon. I subbed in a French class.
Hmm.
Okay. And this was before Miss Rice got there. And those children were ashamed that they was going to Shawnee. And I
Absolutely.
went into a French class and I saw all this writing on the boards. And so I said, they came into class. I said, bonjour, ça va? And they looked at me and said, what's wrong with her? I said, excuse me, is this not a French class? They said, yes. I said, you don't know how to say good morning? And you don't have any conversational French? They didn't speak a word. I shut the door. We didn't speak French that day, but we got to why they were so down on and ashamed of going to the school. But now I think all that has changed.
Yes, ma'am.
With the renovation, opening up the third floor. Whoever heard of closing the floor of a school?
Yeah.
That was crazy to me. But the difference is when I went to Shawnee, there were 1,500 students that went to that school.
Wow.
And now they have like 500. But, things are going to change, hoping next year with their open assignment,
Hmm.
that they can choose to go to school in their neighborhood and maybe get to know their neighbors and have more of a bond with the community
Yes, ma'am.
than being separated from everybody. But also, sports is why they busting them. They bust them.
Oh, I know.
They broke up that Central winning everything, Male winning everything, Shawnee winning football, basketball. We ruled the sports.
Hmm.
So, but when they had busing, when they brought busing about, that broke up the athletic dynasties at the schools,
Hmm.
and thus took the money. Evidently, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
That's
Yes, ma'am.
crazy.
And
So tell me
that's what we're
about that.
trying to.
When you
Yeah.
were coaching at Central, what was that like?
Um, like you have. I'm a male graduate, so like
Okay.
Male Ballard and some of those schools where you have high alumni support as far as donations and things of that nature. Um, they're able to travel, and go to places. And when I was at Central, we had to go do a lot of fundraisers, and beat the pavement to
Okay.
where or we don't go anywhere at all, so that they can experience that. And I think it helps them bonding. It helps them just to get away, see a different place of life,
Right.
and then also making sure that they're fed before and after games. I think is
That sounds
the
like a
thing that
big
we
deal, Brandon. That's
yes,
the meal part of it.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So
And you all had to raise
uh,
your own money.
yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
Lord, that's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
So
just
this
don't
is going to be a fundraiser for them. And
Okay.
on top of that game, we have Western High School. So Western High School, they're top 10 in the state of Kentucky this year,
Okay.
preseason. And they're
Okay.
going to be playing Cincinnati Taft High School, who's the defending Ohio State champions.
Get out of here.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
y'all got some folks coming into town, huh?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That
So,
sounds
we
wonderful.
wanted to put an exciting game. We wanted to have some high level competition. And to help pack the house so that Shawnee can recoup. And, I think it's going to be exciting. We're going to promote like a HBCU like atmosphere. We're going to have live DJs there. But then one of the things that I'm proud of is we're going to have resources there. So we're going to have the U.S. Coast Guard are going to have recruiters there with a booth
Wow.
set up.
Okay.
We're going to have Kentucky State University there, UPS.
Hey.
Yes, ma'am. Relocation United
Thoroughbreds.
Network. We're gonna have Simmons College of Kentucky there, JCTC,
All right.
Youth for Christ. They're right around the corner. So what we want to do is provide different paths to success, so that if you're not interested in going to college, if you want to go to college, you say I can't afford it. Well, Evolve 502 now you can go
Right.
for free
Right.
at Simmons and JCTC.
Absolutely.
But if you don't want to do that, we'll have somebody that has a skilled trade with like moving and logistics. So you can come out and make good money without having to get in the streets.
Right.
Or if you want a military option, we'll have a military option that's available for you as well. So you're going to come, you're going to have fun. We're going to bring you in there. You're going to have a great time. The music's going to be rocking. The crowd's going to be going. We're going to bring multiple generations together. So I want it to be like a family reunion, a little bit.
Well, that's a wonderful concept.
Yes, ma'am. But then we're going to have those resources there too, so that you're educated, and you're not ignorant to what's available to you.
Right.
So while you're there, you're going to get your concessions, stop and talk to somebody. We'll have somebody on the mic. Hey, go talk to these people, So we want to be really intentional about educating our youth and young adults about what's out there and available to them.
So someone's going to be on the mic letting them know that they can go to college for free.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. That's a given, a must. They have to know this. I don't know if they don't know it, they're not getting the information, because there should be a push for that.
Mm-hmm.
That there's no reason that any person that's graduated from high school, this is incentive to go get your GED so you can go to college.
Absolutely.
Everybody can get some things you can do over. Some things you can't do. You can't do a funeral over. You can't, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things you can't do over, but going back to get your education, you can do over.
Yes, ma'am.
You can go back and get it, and now you can go to college for free. Imagine that.
I wish I had that.
Doors that would open up for a lot of our kids especially in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Because they need that. When I came home, Brandon, they told me that our kids thought that they weren't going to live past 18 years old. You ever heard that before?
I mean, you've heard it in like the hood, to be honest with you, but that's what you kind of grow up around, that lifestyle. So
really, I never fathomed that a child would think they wouldn't live past 18 years old. And to my dance instructor, Miss Anita Moore Neal, told me that when I came home. She says that the kids don't think that they're going to live past 18. And now it seems like it has played out over the past 10 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is a sad state of affairs, that our children feel like they have no hope. So I love that you're behind doing events like this to bring people together and promote education at the same time.
Yes,
education and opportunity, because that's what you're doing. You're giving them an opportunity to get an education just by coming to an event.
Mm-hmm.
What more can they ask for?
Or go get a job.
Yeah.
If you want to, whatever you got, we want to, that's our preventative way of nonviolence. A lot of people choose reactive measures. We want to kind of get in front of it to give you different opportunities. I've seen people in the moving industry make 6 figures over COVID, and you don't need a college degree for that. Right. So I want people to know that, like, hey, if you 18 and you're making $50,000-$60,000, yeah, you're gonna work hard, but that's real money, and you don't have to worry about looking over your shoulder, somebody trying to shoot you or something like that, or being on the street on the corner or something. So that's what we want to give viable alternatives.
That's what they need. They need some viable alternatives, and part of that is having something to do that keeps them engaged.
Yes, ma'am.
Especially the age group, that's 17 to 25.
Yes, ma'am.
That's my age group. I've got a program that I've targeted that age group, but through the arts. They may not have a job, they may not want to go to college, but they're talented. They can sing, or they can dance. I look at this kid, I'm going to tell you the truth. One of our tools that we need to use aside from, and this is for you. This is a caveat that I'm going to give to you.
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
Bryson Tiller, your Jack Harlow. Those are, our kids love stardom. They
Yes,
love the
ma'am.
big. They need to be who you use to let these kids know they need to stop killing each other. They need to be a voice for our youth in the city. We need to do something. I'll help you, whatever it takes to bring them. So just like what they did at the Slugger Field,
Mm-hmm.
that was U of L's homecoming, though, wasn't it?
No, that was actually the kind of like the Midnight Madness. It was the basketball kickoff.
Oh, okay, okay. They
Yes, ma'am.
kicked off the basketball
The
season.
Louisville Live event. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, did you attend that?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you think about it?
I liked it. I kind of felt for the players because it was kind of chilly. They was out there with basketball shorts on,
Okay,
in,
okay.
in, in October. But no, it was a great event. I mean, it was packed out. There was a lot of alumni that came back. And, that's something that we're kind of trying to replicate. So, with this hiring of Kenny Payne with University of Louisville,
Oh, yes.
everybody's coming back, and that's very valuable. And that's the same thing that we kind of want to do with Shawnee, with Seneca or Central or the next schools that it might not be a lot of current school pride. We want to
Right.
restore that,
Yeah.
and kind of bring those generations together.
It was funny because we're working on getting the alumni, just all the class alumni association back together at Shawnee. And we
Okay.
had a meeting down in Shawnee last month, and they were talking about some of the alumni said, well, why can't we get our school colors back? We were gold and white, and
Oh,
I'm
so when y'all was the Indians.
when we were the Indians, we were gold and white, but we
Okay.
had our own school song. So I'm wondering, do you still have a school song? Because in the song it says your colors are gold and white. So and Miss Rice acknowledges all of that.
Hmm.
She has to take one step at a time to bring some things back into some semblance of familiarity to get the support that the school needs from the
Okay.
alumni. It's not so much that the kids that are going to school now is important to them, but that alumni association is kind of supposed to be foundation for the school.
Yes, ma'am.
Central and Male, you all have a pretty good alumni association, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and it's important. It's
Definitely.
important for schools, high schools, to have strong alumni associations. And people need to know, even though you graduate from high school, you still need to give back.
And
So
they need to see you guys. They need to see
yeah,
you.
yeah. I've got my whole thing laid out that I'm going to be very present. I had to just apply for a program today, so it took me 2 weeks just to apply for this program because you'd have thought I was getting an FBI check, for all the information that I had to give them about my background. But I can understand why they need that, but I don't want that shouldn't deter me from going on and doing something someplace else where I'm needed.
Yes, ma'am.
That's important. So tell me about the events again, and they're called what?
So we have the Run High School Showcase presented by the U.S. Coast Guard. We have two basketball games: Southern versus Shawnee High School, and Western versus Cincinnati Taft High School. And
Okay.
now, prior to that, Shawnee, their athletic department is having a state championship banquet that they're inviting everybody to come to at Chef Space on Muhammad Ali Boulevard.
It's Chef Space.
Yes, ma'am. It's going to be at 3 p.m. And
Okay.
the price for that costs $20 per person. Of course, they're going to take care of the team and their family, but they want the community, alumni, and everything in the Shawnee community come back and celebrate that because I was telling them like we've got to restore, the pride
In your neighborhood, in your
yes,
school, in
yes, ma'am.
our community,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
it's going to start at the school. You're right. You're absolutely right. So this is the flyer for the banquet, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let me see. I'm trying to be cute here where I think I can know how to share my screen.
You're doing a good job.
Okay, so let me take that one out. Remove that one. And then I'm going to try this one. That's the same thing. Okay, that's the same thing. I got the same thing up there twice. So anyway, that didn't work. So at least I showed that. And did you send me yours?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull yours up. I know I can do this better than that. Hold on. Everybody just have to hold on because I have to try to do things, try to do the best that I can do in showing. This one was the, oops. Keeps giving me the same one. Hold on.
Oh, you're fine. So Miss Janice, I need you to let all your Shawnee, your fellow alumni know.
You need me to let them know. What do I need to do to let them know? Oh, well, I've got a list. I've got a mailing list, so I can send everyone the flyers that you sent me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's what you want me to do, right?
Well,
And this is the best way I can let them know is right here on the show.
Absolutely, absolutely. I appreciate it.
I'm going to send you the link to this so you can send it out. I'm going to send this link to the Shawnee has a new set of officers in place for the Alumni Association. I will send it to them so they can get it out to the rest of the alumni. I only have a few names. I kept the names. I've got all the names, but I don't have them in my computer, but they do. And I'll make sure that they get them.
I appreciate it.
So I'm trying to think of another. So they'll be at the chef's place for the banquet. That's where the banquet is.
Yes, ma'am. That's at 3 p.m. And then they're going to go right over to Shawnee High School at 6 p.m. for their first game.
And what's the cost to get in?
So for chef space, it's $10. I mean, it's $20 for the banquet.
$20 for the banquet.
It's going to be a full meal. They're going to have it laid out. And then for the game, it's going to be $10. You're getting two games.
Okay.
Two high quality games for $10. They're going to have concessions on site. You're going to have resources there available for you. It's going to be a live DJ. It's going to be fun.
You got some steppers?
We don't have any steppers because we didn't want to belabor it too much because we're already going to be presenting and honoring those teams and those men at halftime and after the game.
Okay. All right. I'll let the steppers go this time. Because
We'll
Central
sure
is a wonderful step team.
Yes,
I saw them at the United UNCF luncheon. They performed there. But Brandon, I want to thank you for the things that you do and for being the man that you are. Because I mean, you are a true example of what it means to give back. To be a citizen of your community. You know what I'm saying? And yes. I take my hat off to you. And I'm glad that, it didn't compute the first time I met you in a meeting, because I met you one time in a meeting about the Dirt Bowl, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And then I never saw you again. So who you were, and when you said who you were, and I'm saying Brandon Hill, I said, oh, that's who was sitting in the meeting that time. So it all came back to me, yes, but it took me a minute. But now we've moved way past that. And I'm glad you remembered me to come back on the show and bring this information, because I said if you needed to come back, that you were more than welcome.
I appreciate it.
And anything else, I've got some stuff that I need to talk to you about that maybe we can do together, because it's not just going to be all around sports. Just like you said, it's about education. They can get a job. We need to engage our youth.
Yes, ma'am.
We need to make sure that they are engaged. That there's no reason for them not to be able to have what it is that they need to have to succeed.
Absolutely.
And with people like you, they should be able. That's a lot of help. That means a lot, especially for the men. For our young boys, they need to see somebody like you handling their business in another way.
I think that's needed too. I went by to go speak at Shawnee a couple of weeks ago, and that's one of the things that I noticed is they just need to see more of us.
Okay, Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna get busy. I have to
Yes,
do
ma'am.
my part. I can't just talk to talk. I have to walk the walk.
Yes, ma'am.
Sweetheart, it's dinner time. Go have your dinner.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
for being my guest this evening. Bon appetit.
Thank
So
you for
I'll
having
see
me.
you on the 3rd.
Yes, ma'am. December the 3rd.
Okay, sweetie. Take care.
Thank you. Have a great night.
I'll put the flyers up on my Jantastic Facebook page and my personal page as well.
Thank you so much.
All right, sweetie. Take care.
Have a great night.
You too. Bye bye. That's Mr. Brandon Hill. Okay, we're gonna have a banquet. Shawnee's having a banquet at Chef's Place, December 3rd. $20. These are fundraisers for Shawnee High School. Okay, bringing the pride back to the school, showing the youth that we care about them. The alumni need to show up. You need to get involved because our students and our community need that. You know, we were a village. The village is fractured. The village needs uh, growth. You know, you almost say the village needs some counseling. You know, but we just need everybody to come back and be involved. Then we're going to have the basketball game, 2 basketball games at Shawnee High School, 6 o'clock. Okay. 2 basketball games, Shawnee High School, $10. Fundraiser for the school. So we need everyone to put that down on your calendars, and every week until that, I will be mentioning the events coming up. I will be putting them up on my Facebook page and my Jantastic Productions page. That's the name of my company that brings you Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. And I just want to say to any other young men out there that are doing good things for the community, to keep doing what you're doing, and let me know. You know, you need to be highlighted. If Brandon wanted to come on tomorrow again, he could. You know what I'm saying? This is my MSNBC, and I run it like I want to run it. You know, so I will promote the things that I think the community needs to know about. So on that note, it's dinner time and I'm hungry. I'd like to say bon appetit. My prayers and condolences go out to those um, that were killed in the mass shooting this weekend, in the car slamming into an Apple store. Um, my prayers and condolences. It's sad. When I think about all those types of things, it just makes me sad that people have so much hate in their hearts, you know, and words bring about uh, bad situations when they're used in the wrong. They can hurt, they kill, and politicians, whomever, that find it necessary to separate us or do things that cause a divide amongst humanity. It's a sad state of affairs. So my condolences go out to those families. And so next Monday, I ask you to join us. This show will play again on Friday. Did you hear that, Brandon? This will be on again Friday at 7 p.m. And I'll have the link out there. I'm going to send the link to Brandon so he can send it out to all of his followers, because I know he's got thousands of followers on all of his platforms, because he's doing wonderful work. Have a good evening. Take care. It's dinner time. Bon appetit. Ciao.